What? Hey, man, you a whole bitch. Catch a nigga lacking with that Glock and shoot the whole world. Yo, hey, I made my flow switch.
What is up, my guys? It's your boy Tokyo. We're back at it again with another reaction video. Yes, I just burped. Today's video, we got the story of XXXTentacion BRATZ song cover. I did like the intro to this shit like 3 times. Shut up! Because of that shit. But today's, I ain't lie, I think I've seen the video of this shit. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, if he shows the video, I'm gonna point it out. But I seen that shit like a long ass time ago, and I just know it was like, I think he was just beating some nigga's ass or some shit. Like, you know, like bro just like body slammed him, and then the camera was just like right there, and then boom, that's how the fucking cover was made or some shit. Which is fucking funny. I ain't gonna lie. And this is no disrespect to X, but if I was that dude that got his ass beat and got put on that fucking cover, I'll be glad that nigga did. On some real shit, no, bro. Cause on some real shit, you ain't about to put my whole beat up ass face on a song cover and get fucking famous for that shit. Fuck no. Hell nah, bro. On some real shit, hell no. But we about to get into this shit. If you like this type of video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and make sure you guys go ahead and check out Blue. I'm high as shit. Valerie, I think. I hope I did not just butcher your name, but it's gonna be right here. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this shit started.
If you're a fan of X, you've definitely seen this song cover, and today I'm going to be telling you the story behind it. So the cover has 2 people in it, X, and it also has an artist named Not Linden. Now, Not Linden is also a Florida artist similar to X, but he never reached the stardom that X had. He was in a similar vibe where X was back in 2016. Here I have concert footage of X back in 2016, and you can see Not Linden also in the mosh pit, moshing to X during his concert. He seems to be having a great time at the concert, and the concert was in Winewood, Florida at the Kush Party on April 15th, 2016. Later in the concert, he also gets himself on stage and he starts to talk to X during I Love It When They Run. This may have been when their first negotiations started and their first interactions in person actually started, but you can see right here that Not Linden is on the stage talking to X. Now, what ends up happening? Well, this was on April 15th, 2016. A month later, we have DMs from Not Linden and X.
I ain't gonna cap. I fuck with Young BRATZ. That shit, that song, nigga. Let me get on the highway and play this song. Boy, I'm gone. I'm out of there, bro, on some real shit. Any hype song when I'm when I'm driving, nigga, out of that. I'm zooming out that motherfucker, sipping the burbs.
X negotiating making a song because Not Linden wanted to make a song with X. Making a song with X would have been huge for Not Linden, as this would have put him into the spotlight of all of us, as there would be a feature of X with Not Linden. So, did it ever happen? Well, here are the text messages. I'll walk you through them and we can see what exactly went down and led to the infamous photo that we did get. The text messages start on May 8th, where X says, "How soon would you like to pay your feature? I don't give my number out unless it's business or it's women." X sent this text message on May 8th, 2016 at 1:35. And at 1:35 exactly, Not Linden said, "Right now." X asked cash, card, or PayPal. Not Linden says he wants to pay with cash, and X says, "Want me to pull up now?" Where Not Linden says, "Yeah, I'm at the stew right now in Miramar." So X ends up pulling up to the venue, and we do have footage of him at the studio recording with Not Linden. But something happened and the song never fully was finished. As you can't rush art. If art's not gonna come, you can't make somebody make that song if they don't feel like that song is going to be to the full capacity that they want it to be. Right here, Not Linden messages X the next day on May 9th saying, "Convenient, I'm offering you my personal equipment and space, or I can get you into something like yesterday. Whatever is going to work and make you more comfortable." Where X in 2 days later, it takes him 2 days to make a response like this. In a career way, when you're trying to push yourself up to the top, if you're not serious about something, you're not going to take it as serious, but you shouldn't be waiting 2 days to send a message back. So right here, we can get the impression that X didn't really want to make this song to begin with. So X says, "Send the beat to my email again." Where Not Linden says, "Sent." As we can see though, there's already a discrepancy, as Not Linden sent his first message on May 9th, and X responded on May 11th. A 2-day response to a text message. That is a load of time when you're trying to get a feature with somebody, but we do know that X moved differently than other people did. But right here we can see that it takes him 2 days to get back after he's been paid for this, after he's been paid to make the feature with Not Linden, and he's still procrastinating on making this song. I understand we have our own priorities in life, but this is back in 2016 before he reached the fame that he was at. So with all of that in mind, we can just see that X wasn't taking it as serious. He wasn't really putting his full attention into it. And that's totally respectable too. You don't have to put your full intention into it. You don't have to put your full thoughts into it, but that's what it is. And X says, give me a few days. Not Linden says, alright, just hit me when you're back in town. I'm gonna get us time at the stew you met me at. Okay, so what ends up happening? So X ends up leaving to another state, so he doesn't have time right now to make this feature. That may be why he was procrastinating on texting back right there, because he didn't really have the time in his own life, his own personal life, to write this feature for Not Linden right now. Before we go forwards with the story, let's let X actually walk us through the events that did happen. This can give us more clarity into what actually happened as we get a first-person account of the events that went down. So somebody reached out to X asking about what went down, and this is what X said, the real story of what happened between Not Linden. X says, alright brother, I'll explain it to you. And afterwards, please spread the word. So basically, the guy paid for a feature firsthand. When I met up with him, he tried to play games with me and tried to pay me $250. So obviously X wanted more than $250. I got mad and almost fought him there, but he corrected himself. I go inside to listen to the beat, and he tried to rush me and record and didn't all realize I don't work at the pace as others. I appreciate my music and treat it and my fans with respect. So I leave, and after 2 days, write the verse. That's exactly where we're at in the story, where X went there, it didn't all work out, and the song fully didn't get produced, so X ended up leaving, and he also got caught up with his own things as he's about to go into right now. But on top of all this, as I said, X also puts time into his features. If he wants to make a feature, he wants to put his actual craft into it. Make it genuine for his fans. That's big, being genuine. For X fans, we are all genuine, we all try to be genuine, and genuinity is something that we hold key to our own selves, as people take this from X himself. That's only one part of the story, so let's see. I had to leave the state and leave my engineer behind, so I never got to record it. I get back in the state and get booked for 3 shows. As I'm booked for these, I'm also working on my tape. So I told him, be patient. And he tried to speak to me with no respect, saying, you've got time to do shows but you can't get a feature done? As if I'm a slave because he paid me some cash. So now X is getting upset at Not Linden because Not Linden is talking to him like he's not a human, that he is just a part of this, that I paid you, so you have to get this work done to me.
I have to finish writing this paper. I'm swamped.
Just get Grammarly. It's free.
Can it help with...
That is what X is claiming. X is claiming that that's what happened. That is X's side of the account of all of these interactions. But does it line up with the text message between X and Not Linden? Well, yes, it does. Let me show you the text message between X and Not Linden, so you can see for yourself that this is exactly what happened right here. X says here on May 11, 2016, not be your mom and ride your poot when you want. Show your role. Don't think my manager ain't tell me about that email either. Me and you on thin line, blood. X is being urgent with this guy straight up right here. Not Linden said, what? I paid you for a feature, bro. All money up front, I told you a deadline. You got time to do shows and drop music and tweet, but you can't finish a feature? And that was the last straw for X. That was the last straw before everything went down that we did see on the song cover. X messaged back, Not Linden, when I see you, I'm slapping you. And that's exactly what ended up happening. X even went further into the story and trying to explain what ended up happening afterwards. As he said, I found this guy in the streets, and he was talking behind my...
That shit kind of getting fucking annoying. But it's cool. But it's getting annoying, but it's cool.
Back and not saying it to my face, so I pulled up and beat him. Afterwards, he tried to twist the story, saying that I beat him because he wanted a refund, so I simply laughed and said he's a fool, because I know what was said to me and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I chose to let people think what they want, and that's that. I'm not going to put the fight videos in this video. If you do want to see those, they are in my Discord. I want to leave this on YouTube as long as possible, and I don't really want to get it taken down. So if you do want to see the fight videos, join my Discord. I can have them there. But there was a fight that did go down. There is a 2-minute clip on the internet about X and Not Linden fighting. It's pretty one-sided. X ends up putting him in a chokehold, and we do get the infamous song cover known as Young BRATZ. Also at the start of Young BRATZ, the sound in the fight, the crowd hyping everyone up is there as well. You can hear that as well in it. So was X in the wrong for doing this? Well, we can see that he was pushed to make his craft, that you can't really push an artist to get something out there. It's bad to push an artist to make something out of pure making it instead of making it out of pure creativity. Creativity is what makes this art. That's what makes art so cool, because you take something you feel inside you take a thought you have inside you, take something in your life, and you're able to talk about it. You're able to explain it in a melodic way, in a way that you're able to make other people understand exactly what you're saying. So I totally understand that art is so subjective and it takes so much time to make in different circumstances. And X worked differently than other artists. But was his reaction warranted? Well, not really. You don't just fight someone at first glance when you have an interaction like this. I understand there's so much to it. I understand that people say stuff, people act different types of ways, but you should never go fight people for the type of way that they talk to you. There's different ways that you can react to all of these situations. I understand X was also spiritual. This was earlier in his spiritual phase. This was earlier before he went to jail, before he found the master key, before everything went down in his life that did unfold. I know later in his life he may have chosen a different way to handle all of this, knowing that all the fame that he does have and holding his fame into account as well. But holding principles true to yourself, the principles that we are all one, holding the principles true that life is an experience, that life is truly an experience, and that you become who you see yourself to become. He wouldn't choose to fight someone. How could he have approached it differently? Well, there aren't too many options that he could have done. He could have either scammed, and that's already a bad thing to start with too, or he could have just done the feature or give a refund. There are those three options. But what did X choose to do? Well, he scammed and then he beat him up. So it's a little bit more harsh than any of the options that I did mention. Either X should have not even taken the feature to begin with, or he should have done the feature or give a refund. I know it's easy to say when we're not in that situation to do that, but violence is not the key to answer all of this. Embarrassing somebody else is not the key to doing all this. Not Linden still exists today, he does still post on Instagram, and every single comment on his Instagram is about this X violence. It's all about X. I'll have some videos for you right here, you can see some photos of it. But it's just hard to see for him too that something so small in his life is so big now on YouTube. Not saying it wasn't warranted. Yes, there are different ways that you should approach the situation, but there are different ways that you can approach a situation. That's the whole key I want to talk about. There's not one way that you have to answer everything. To you watching this, think in life before you do things. Don't just do them pure out of emotion. Doing things pure out of emotion will get stuff like this. And yes, it may give you publicity, and if that's really what you want, then yeah, it gives publicity. That doesn't make you a better person at all. And I'm sure that X later in his life would have been against his actions that he did do on this day. I'm not saying that there's still some pride in it, but he still would have been against the actions that he did do. As I've said in my other video, we have role models, but your role models shouldn't be your true inspiration to live. You can pick and choose the attributes that you do like in your role model. You don't have to look at X and be like, hey yo, if somebody runs up on me, I'm gonna go beat them up. That's not what he wanted you to do. He wanted you to look at yourself, see the attributes that are not good in yourself, and change those. Grow those and become better. Become better in what? Become better in the way that helps everybody. Become better in the way that helps society, that helps yourself and society and your family and your future generation. Those right now, actions, bro. I can't name those actions because there's so many circumstances to bring you to those actions. That's what he wanted you to do. He wanted you to become better, so become better. He wanted you to become better, so become better. There's no better day than to become better than now. I love you. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something new. If you really mess with it.
Yo, that shit crazy though. I might watch the I might do it later, I don't know, before like the third video, or not even third video, but I might find it later and then put it up. But yo, that shit is kind of crazy though, I ain't gonna lie. Nigga really said, oh yeah, you disrespectful as shit. Oh yeah, when I see you, it's up, it's on the floor. Fuck that shit. That nigga was something else, nigga. What the fuck? That nigga was something else. He was a wild boy. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and check out bro's shit in the description down below. I'm tired of shit. That's why I really didn't really say that much stuff for real. But yeah. Anyways, guys, hope y'all stay blessed. Peace. Also, I want to thank you guys for 190, bro. We're 10 away from 200, bro. Let's see if we can get it to there before June ends, bro. Let's see if we can got it. I know we got that. I know we can do that shit. But peace out, y'all. Take care. Hope y'all stay blessed.